I never imagined that catching her would feel like a punch to the gut, like reading a script I didn't want to see. That night, everything felt off, like a shadow clinging to my skin, refusing to fade. That strange vibe hung in the air, thick and heavy, the kind that creeps in quietly but settles deep, making you question every heartbeat, every moment before the truth revealed itself. We'd been together nearly 8 years, no big fights, no glaring red flags, just a seemingly normal, adult life. Or at least, that's what I thought before everything started to unravel. Then came a random Thursday evening. I was home early, ready to surprise her, maybe cook dinner. Usually, I'd be out, but this time I wanted to play the attentive husband for once. I knocked, but she didn't answer. Lights were off, but I could hear sounds inside. Laughter, but not hers. Something darker, sharper. My gut twisted with doubt and dread. After several calls without answer, the door clicked open. Relief didn't come. Her eyes were different, shaky, guilty, like she held secrets too heavy to admit. I asked, "Who were you with?" She stumbled, mentioning some vague friend, but her face screamed lies, telling a story I wasn't ready to hear. That moment trapped me. Suddenly, every little thing became a piece of a puzzle I feared to solve, but couldn't ignore. My mind raced, desperate for answers. Days passed. She avoided mirrors more, guarded her phone fiercely. Messages appeared and disappeared in coded ways, driving me deeper into obsession and mistrust. I started digging, not heroically, desperately. Social media showed nothing. Texts were deleted. Only one pattern emerged. Every Friday, she worked late, like clockwork. One Friday, I couldn't hold back. I followed her. She stopped at a quiet cafe, our old trip spot. Calm, but different, heart pounded with a mix of hope and dread. A man arrived, a former colleague from years ago. No embraces, no kisses, just a silent tension, that complex history lingering between them, hinting at unresolved secrets. I expected an affair story, lies and betrayal, but the picture shifted. She sent a parcel. After their meeting, messages from him grew urgent. Speaking of help and protection, I found myself tangled in something bigger than us. The lines blurred between trust and deception. Confrontations left her silent, shielding herself behind armored walls. Then, the bombshell. She confessed to lying, not about cheating, but a hidden past. Man was part of that story, a fragment I never knew existed. Suddenly, this wasn't about infidelity, but secrets powerful enough to break us. And I had to face my own mistrust. Was I blinded by assumptions all along? Our marriage became a battlefield of unsaid words and hidden truths. Painful, yes, but the more she revealed, more I saw her complexity. Far from the villain I feared, she's layered, complicated, and deeply human. Not a villain, but a woman carrying burdens, trying to protect both of us in ways I struggled to understand. The final twist: no dramatic exits or shouting matches. Instead, quiet understanding emerged, the wounds weren't from betrayal, but hidden shadows we refused to share. Maybe trust isn't given blindly. Instead, it's pieced together in the cracks between broken truths and silent confessions. And that changed everything for us. Now, I look back wondering, what does betrayal truly mean? Is it the act, or how deeply the lines between deception and protection blur within us? How do you forgive someone when the truth is tangled in shadows? Lies are meant to shield rather than harm. These questions haunt my nights. This story, it's far from over. What I thought was an ending was only a beginning, a journey through trust, pain, and the raw edges of human truth. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your take on trust and betrayal? Can forgiveness rise from brokenness? Are some wounds too deep to heal? Thanks for following this story with me. Remember, it's in our honest conversations and moments of vulnerability that true connections grow. Let us rewind to the early signs, subtle, almost invisible at first. Quiet glances, hesitations in her voice, moments that felt off but slipped past unnoticed. Outwardly, all seemed fine, a picture-perfect couple living the grown-up life. But beneath the surface, Cracks were forming, invisible to the untrained eye. When I couldn't reach her that night, silence answered back. Absence screamed louder than words ever could, filling me with a chilling uncertainty. Every soft laugh not hers, every shadow in the dark set my heartbeat racing. Doubt took root, feeding on every hesitation, every unspoken word. I stood there, knocking, calling, waiting for an explanation I feared. What I wasn't ready for was the cold reality staring back through her eyes. Her shaky gaze whispered secrets, eyes bundled beneath fragile words. I asked gently, but she stumbled, unable to hold the truth or the facade. From that point on, silence became our language, every pause and glance loaded with more meaning than words ever held between us. She guarded her phone like a vault, encrypting her world from my view. I glimpsed fleeting messages in strange codes, fueling my burning curiosity and fear. Every Friday night, the same story: late work, mysterious meetings, a ritual I couldn't ignore, pulling me deeper into her hidden life. One Friday, desperation took hold. I followed her steps, heart pounding, desperate for the truth, no matter how painful it might be. She entered a quiet cafe, the place we'd visited once before. A relic of happier times, calm on the surface, yet everything felt changed. The man who joined her wasn't a stranger, but someone from her past. Silence spoke volumes, a puzzle I desperately wanted to solve. I expected the usual affair: passion, lies, betrayal. Instead, a different story emerged. One wrapped in urgent pleas and secret protection. Messages shifted from flirtatious whispers to urgent words, requests for help. Safety. This wasn't a betrayal. This was a cry for survival. Every confrontation pushed her further away into silence. Our relationship became a battlefield where trust and fear collided in painful standoffs. Then she broke down, confessing her lies weren't about infidelity, but a hidden past no one could understand. The man linked to shadows neither of us knew. I had to face my own demons. Was I blinded by jealousy, or did I ignore signs? Sometimes, fear paints the darkest pictures in our minds. Marriage became a labyrinth of truths half told, secrets guarded fiercely, and emotions tangled in a web we both struggled to escape. The more she shared, the clearer it became. She was not the villain I imagined, but a wounded soul protecting herself and us in ways I only began to understand. There were no dramatic confrontations, just a quiet understanding blossoming from shared pain and slowly mending cracks in our fractured trust. Now I question, what is betrayal? Is it the act itself, or the shadows we carry in silence? The lines blur when protection and deception intertwine. The wounds felt deeper than lies. They were scars from secrets we'd both chosen to hide, wounds inflicted not by betrayal, but by silence. Trust began to rebuild itself, not blindly, but cautiously, layer by layer. In the fragile spaces, cracked open by honesty and forgiveness, there were no simple answers or neat endings, just the messy, beautiful chaos of two imperfect people trying to heal together. So, this journey goes on, not with clear maps or promises, but with hope born from cracks and courage found in vulnerability. Walking through those unsettling days, I uncovered hard truths. Each revelation felt like a sting, but also a step closer to understanding her reality. Between us, silence became heavy, a weight that pressed tighter with every unspoken word, creating distance impossible to cross at times. Her secrets grew like walls high, opaque, forbidding. I banged against them, desperate to break through, but fearful of what awaited on the other side. Emotions tangled wildly. Anger, love, confusion. I felt lost in the storm, caught between suspicion and the desperate hope to trust again. In the chaos, a fragile truce emerged. We started opening small cracks in our fortress. Each truth shared a fragile bridge over the growing divide. I began to rediscover her, not just the partner I thought I knew, but a woman shaped by pain, courage, and secrets beyond my imagination. Our story became more than appearances. It was about the cracks beneath the surface and the raw human truths that often remain hidden in silence. I learned that listening isn't just hearing words at S, feeling the silences, recognizing the unsaid, and embracing vulnerability without judgment. Trust started to feel less like a gift and more like something we had to build. Brick by brick, through patience and hard conversations. Though fragile, our bond began mending slow, uneven steps toward understanding, leaving old wounds to heal in time's gentle embrace. I realized how heavy assumptions had been, how my fears painted her guilty, for the truth had a chance to breathe and be known. With every new revelation, I saw her through different eyes, not the woman who betrayed, but one wrestling with her own haunted past. Breaking our cycle of silence was the hardest part. Each word spoken was a battle won, a small victory carving paths to healing. Choosing vulnerability over defense opened up spaces where we could heal, understand, and rebuild what fear had once torn apart. Our future felt fragile but hopeful, a delicate dance between past wounds and the promise of renewal. Forged in honesty's light, this journey taught me lessons I didn't want to learn the hard way. That trust is earned, and love survives not despite pain, but because of it. The hardest battle was inside me, with doubts warring against hope, and every step forward meant facing those inner storms head-on. I learned to embrace imperfection, not just hers or mine, but the flawed, beautiful chaos that makes us human. Our scars didn't define us, but strengthened us, a testament to survival and the quiet power of forgiveness. Looking back, see a path marked by pain, but also growth. Moving forward remains uncertain, but it's ours to navigate, step by fragile step. I've learned healing isn't instant. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to face darkness while reaching for light. Our messy, raw story stands as a lesson about love's complexities, the power of secrets, and the courage to rebuild what seemed lost. So, I invite you to reflect on your own stories. What secrets do we hide? And how do those shadows shape the people we love? Sometimes, our deepest scars connect us more than our shared joys. They bind through understanding, forgiveness, and the will to move forward. Trust isn't rebuilt overnight. It is a slow process, born of small truths shared in broken moments and fragile promises kept. Despite the fear and pain, hope becomes the quiet light guiding us through darkness towards something stronger and more real. Our story, like many, is ongoing. It is imperfect, uncertain, but filled with the possibility that even broken things can heal and thrive. Facing fears together became our new reality, learning not to run from shadows, but to hold each other tight in the dark moments. Even with openness, some truths remain unspoken, whispered only in glances or the quiet ache of a shared silence. Every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. We chose to plant ours in the soil of honesty and fragile hope. Love is complex, full of contradictions, imperfections, and untold stories. Embracing that complexity became our saving grace. Behind every smile, silent battles rage between hope and fear, truth and denial, love and resentment. Secrets carry heavy costs, fractured trust, sleepless nights, and hearts weighed down by the past's shadows. Yet forgiveness holds power. It frees the trapped, heals wounds, and builds bridges where walls once stood tall. In brokenness, hope can bloom. From pain, courage arises, and from shattered trust, something new can grow. Trust became a choice, a daily act of bravery, where we decided to embrace uncertainty in pursuit of connection. Together, we reimagine a future where past wounds don't define us, but teach us resilience and the true meaning of love. Heartbeat of our story isn't betrayal or secrets, it is survival, forgiveness, and the relentless pursuit of understanding. Thank you for being here, witnessing this journey with me. Sometimes, the toughest stories hold the greatest truths and the deepest hope. Now it is your turn. Share your thoughts, your stories, because every story is a thread in the fabric of our shared humanity. Together, navigate shadows, embracing imperfection and finding light, even where darkness threatened to overwhelm. Brick by brick, trust grows, not perfect or fast, but real and resilient, built from the fragments of our broken past. So this isn't the end, but a continuing journey, a story of love, loss, secrets, and the enduring power to forgive and rebuild. Stay tuned.